Good evening, everyone. I decided to do my senior research project on the effect of antibacterial soap on acrylic nails. My name is Kayla Gunter, and I am a senior at George Washington High School. I will be attending George Mason University next fall, where I will be majoring in biochemistry and minoring in forensic science. I decided to test bacteria on acrylic nails because they are my favorite cosmetic trend, yet they are not allowed for my intended field of work. I plan on becoming a pediatric surgeon, and any form of nail cosmetics are not allowed for the protection of the patients. I chose this topic because I wanted to see with my own eyes how dirty acrylic nails truly are and how effective antibacterial soap actually is. I also picked this topic because acrylic nails have become more popular over the years and the level of dirtiness is not discussed. I want to bring attention to this cosmetic trend while it is popular. My literature review focuses on 4 topics: bacteria, hygiene, safety, and risk and side effects. The first topic is bacteria. This section specifically discusses infections around the nails and compares the bacteria carried on artificial nails and natural nails. By analyzing the types of bacteria collected from nails and also the amount of bacteria by counting colonies, it can be determined whether artificial nails or natural nails are cleaner. Researchers assume that natural nails are cleaner since the extra length of acrylic nails increases the area which bacteria can be harbored. This also leads researchers to assume that the middle finger harbors more bacteria since it is the longest finger on the hand. Next is hygiene. This section of the literature review mentions the infections from hair and nail beautifications, the effect of antibacterial soaps, and basic nail hygiene. Having the proper hand hygiene has a positive effect on bacteria harbored on nails. Hand washing reduces bacteria on nails, so it is inferred that the consistent hand hygiene constantly decreases the amount of bacteria on hands. The focus of this section is also hand adornment and infection control. There is a growing problem of bacterial infection cases on hands, including hands with artificial nails. Researchers identified the growing problem of bacterial infections cases on hands. As nail cosmetics become more unpopular, the number of hand bacterial infections increases. These cases are not only reported by individuals with artificial nails, but they are a big sample of the population. In addition to identifying the problem, this section talks about how extra measures can be taken to reduce chances of infection and how to solve the problem. This section claims that the problem of bacterial infections on hands can be prevented by not getting nail cosmetics and routinely having proper hand hygiene. In the safety section of my literature review, effectiveness and protection of nail products are evaluated, and so are nail sampling techniques. Analyzing the safety of nail cosmetic products is important since the products can affect nail health and bacterial levels. The chemicals from these products are naturally absorbed into the nail, accessing the bloodstream. This can be detrimental to one's health if a deadly chemical is absorbed. The safety and efficiency of nail products is analyzed to ensure the safety of them. The researchers begin by evaluating the chemicals in nail products, specifically the most common chemicals used. Evaluating the chemicals is essential to nail safety to better understand the effects and related health risks that can come from certain nail products. If scientists can pinpoint or at least get an idea of what chemicals are linked to certain health problems, then they can ban the chemicals from being used in the future production of nail products. Researchers specifically talk about the safety of nail instruments and the techniques used. They agree with the previous source of evaluating the safety of nail products and expand upon how certain chemicals found in nail products can be dangerous. But it asserts that the manipulation of the nail can be dangerous as well. The researchers also claim that the way these products are used and the combinations of these products can also play a harmful role in the consumer's health. The final point of the literature review focuses on the risk and side effects of nail cosmetics, including on medical professionals and patients. The risk and side effects of nail cosmetics are evaluated to determine the effect bacterial nail cosmetics has on nail health. The short-term effects have already surfaced in the form of nail deformation and bacterial levels. Knowing what short-term effects are already common can help medical professionals predict what type of long-term effects may occur later on. It can also allow the medical professionals to predict if common effects can become bigger problems in the future. Recent studies have proven that artificial nails increase the amount of bacteria carried by nails, leading to more cases of bacterial infections on hands. However, there has not been an effective solution to the growing problem. The purpose of my study is to test if antibacterial soap decreases the amount of bacteria collected on artificial nails, which will partake in the reduction of bacterial infections on hands. My research question is, what effect does antibacterial soap have on the bacterial growth on artificial nails versus natural nails? My research hypothesis was, if antibacterial soap is used to clean acrylic and natural nails, then there will be less bacterial growth on acrylic and natural nails. My null hypothesis was, if antibacterial soap is used to clean acrylic and natural nails, then there will be no difference in the bacterial growth on acrylic and natural nails. My independent variables included if the participant had washed their hands with antibacterial soap or not. My dependent variable was the bacterial growth from the nails. For my control groups, I had two nail groups, natural nails and acrylic nails. My constants included the brand of soap, Q-tips, and plastic bags I used. To begin my method, I obtained consent from participants at Janie's Nail Shop for the acrylic nail participants and from a convenience sample for the natural nail participants. After gaining consent, I gathered my materials. I used antibacterial soap, Q-tips, plastic bags, and a Sharpie marker. To begin, I immediately swabbed the participants' lateral and proximal folds of their middle finger on their right hand with a Q-tip. I then put the used Q-tip in a plastic bag labeled unwashed, acrylic, or natural participant in their donor. Next, I had the participant wash their hand, and I immediately swabbed the same area of the same nail after they washed their hands. I also stored this used Q-tip in another plastic bag, but it was labeled washed, acrylic, or natural participant in their donor. I used numbers to keep the identities of the participants private. After collecting the swabs, I swabbed the Q-tips onto petri dishes at the lab here at Governor's School. The following school day, I recorded the bacterial growth by counting the bacterial colonies. I compiled a spreadsheet of the raw data and conducted statistical analysis. I conducted a two-way ANOVA with my data since I had two independent variables creating two sets of data, which were the recorded number of bacterial colonies. At the significance level at 0.05, the null hypothesis was rejected with a p-value of 0.049. Figure 1 is presented here. This bar graph displays the average amount of bacterial colonies on acrylic and natural nails when both washed with antibacterial soap and not washed. The graph shows how acrylic and natural nails, when washed with antibacterial soap, have more bacteria than when not washed at all. The graph also shows how natural nails tend to carry more bacteria than acrylic nails. There is sufficient evidence at the 0.05 significance level to conclude that there is more bacteria on acrylic and natural nails when antibacterial soap is used. Therefore, the null hypothesis was rejected. Natural nails carried more bacteria than acrylic nails in both the washed and not washed categories. The results to this study are important because they show the dynamic between bacteria and nail cosmetics. These results apply to the real world since most women wear nail cosmetics and they are becoming more popular. The results lead to the conclusion that natural nails are dirtier and antibacterial soap increases the amount of bacteria on nails. With further research, this conclusion was supported by the fact that natural oils allow more bacteria to breed and cling onto the natural nail bed, where acrylics cover the nail bed and bacteria can only cling to the surrounding tissue. The limitations to my study include contamination, the acrylic nail ages, and the length of time before the participant last washed their hands. When I collected my swabs, I did not wear gloves and I was wearing acrylic nails. Bacteria from my acrylic nails could have easily spread to the sample swabs. Some of the participants could have been getting a new set of acrylic nails put on, and others could have been getting new acrylic put onto their old set of acrylic nails, affecting how much bacteria they had on their nails. Also, some participants may have washed their hands before coming to their nail appointment, reducing the amount of bacteria on their nails. Future research calls for figuring out which brands of soap effectively decrease bacteria on all nail cosmetics, since antibacterial soaps increase the amount of bacteria on artificial nails. This research project has allowed me to learn more about hand hygiene. My big takeaway from this project is antibacterial soap only eliminating 99.9% of bacteria on your hands, causing the remaining 1% to have no competition and breed. This increases the amount of bacteria on your hands. I also learned that having acrylic nails does not necessarily mean your hands are dirtier than someone who does not have them. My research findings also make me less worried about my own bacteria on my hands, since I wear acrylic nails every day. During my collection of data, I developed slight germophobia when touching public computers, but my research findings have helped me tremendously. That concludes my presentation. Thank you, Janie Garcia, for welcoming me into your nail shop and allowing me to use your clients as participants in my study. Thank you to Ms. Long for your guide and help. Thank you to Mr. Bocock for approving my research question, and thank you to Ms. Agner and Danville Public Schools. Are there any questions? Yes.
I have a couple of questions. Okay, so my first question is, I did not see you wearing gloves while you were taking the samples or putting them on the plate. So, did you wear gloves and just shot those photos just for the presentation, or was that a point of possible contamination?
Miss Martin is asking if I wore gloves during the collection of the swabs and also when swabbing the swabs onto the Petri dishes. So when I was swabbing nails, like gathering my participants, I was not wearing gloves. Most of the swabbing took place during class change at George Washington High School, so I didn't really have time to stop and put gloves on. But actually, when I put the swabs onto the Petri dishes, I was wearing gloves, but I forgot to take pictures, so I had to go back and swab them.
Okay, thank you. All right, and so my other question was, when looking at your data on the graph, it looks as though there was more bacteria after the hand was washed versus before the washing. Am I reading it wrong? So the not washed column for natural nails had 80 on
Yes,
average, and then after washed 100?
Yes, ma'am. There was more bacteria when antibacterial soap was used.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so third question, then I'm done.
Okay.
Sorry. What in your research made you swab the folds rather than underneath the physical nail?
Ms. Martin is asking, what made me swab the lateral and proximal nail folds? So when I was actually doing my research, numerous studies showed that they used those areas of the nail, so that's exactly what I did.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, Mr. Taylor.
I have a question on your third data set right there where it says total. Can you explain where the blue and the green part of your total are coming from there?
Yes. So the blue is the acrylic nails, the green is the natural nails, but I combine them. I combine the means, and that's the total.
The total of the means.
Yes. Yes, Dr. Sal.
Whenever you were doing your background research, did you see anything about maybe the benefit of having good bacteria on your hands and helping maybe decrease that population that may be like the bad bacteria?
Dr. South is asking if I saw any good bacteria when coming across my sources. Yes, I did read that it's good to have bacteria on your hands, like not all bacteria is bad, and actually having no bacteria on your hands can be very bad for your health as well.
Great, well thank you.
Thank you.